Hello beholders, long time no see. I haven't posted in quite a while. Um, just been extremely busy, and I'm gonna try to do a couple of videos today. I have some turkey that I marinated for a couple of days, just turkey pieces. It's thighs, and I'm gonna do a quick stuffing that is not your regular stuffing, and I'm gonna do some fresh cranberry for on the side. I have some leftover mashed potatoes from when my kids were here this weekend. So I was like, you know what? I don't do a holiday meal, so let me do something a little bit different. And it's snowing for the first time here in PA, so I figured let me do something that's kind of, you know, a home cooked meal. So right now I have celery, onions, and some parsley in here, sauteing in about 3 tablespoons of Kerrygold. And I am going to add in some fresh cut sage and a few spices. And then I do have some fresh cooked sausage on the side, but it's not your typical, I know a lot of folks use the like tube of regular pork sausage. I don't eat pork, so I don't cook with pork, but I'm putting these in, spicy Italian chicken sausage. So I've cooked 3 of the 5 links, and I'm going to add them in. These are organic, no hormones or anything like that. And then I've cut up, this is some fresh sage that I picked up, so I have that. And I'm going to add that actually right now. I have that in my little cup that Darlene gave me, my little spice cups there. So I'm going to add the sage in, and I'm going to let that get a little bit fragrant in there. There's no salt in here yet because I am going to add some chicken broth, and the sausage has a little bit of salt in it. I do have a different ingredient that a lot of people may not add to their stuffing. I know some people add cranberries. I'm adding some dehydrated, well, like dried cherries that I've reconstituted just in a little bit of warm water and with a little bit of nutmeg. So in this spice cup, I have some poultry seasoning, some dried sage, some garlic, some onion powder, and a little bit of black pepper. So I'm going to add that in. And these don't have to be cooked all the way, just like a little bit tender, because they're going to go in with some bread cubes from some sourdough that's got a little bit of oat flour that I had baked. I just took it out of the freezer, cubed it, and I have that in a baking dish. And I'm going to put that together. And then I have the sausage that I have cooked on the side. I just sauteed that in a little bit of butter, and then I deglazed the pan with a little bit of Chardonnay and a little bit of chicken broth. So we're going to add that all in. I just want to get it all here. So we're going to add that in. So that was 3 links that I just kind of cut them into like fourths, and then again down the middle, and sauteed them in just a little bit of butter so they were slightly brown. But again, this is going to bake with the turkey at 375 for this, probably at least a half an hour, and then the turkey has to bake for well over an hour. They're really big, huge turkey thighs. So that's basically everything for the ingredients in there. Besides, I'm going to add the chicken broth. And then that is what's going to bring my bread cubes a little bit of moisture because I toasted them. So what I did was I took the sourdough that I had in the freezer, and I'm going to take you over and show you what I did with that. So what I did was I cubed that, and I have that in this baking dish, and then I'm going to add everything. I actually, you know what, it'll probably be easier if I just add the cubes right in here and get everything a little bit saturated, and then put it back in the baking dish. So just, you know, because then I could always add a little bit more chicken broth. I can always add a little bit of wine. That's always handy on my refrigerator door. So this is kind of similar to, I think, a lot of dressing or bread stuffing. It's just a lot of folks do use a sausage, and that's basically pork. You know, some folks may use a turkey sausage. This is just happens to be a chicken sausage that I had in the freezer. So I am going to add a little bit more melted butter to this that I melted earlier, just so that it was easier to get in there and incorporate it, because you do want to have a little bit of moisture to the bread and to the entire dish. And then I'm going to add in those cherries with the nutmeg. So again, not your standard, but it does give it like a little bit of sweetness. So they just were, you know, brought back to a little bit of a hydrated state with just a drop of nutmeg in there. And nutmeg is, you know, a spice that a lot of people utilize when they're using cream in a recipe, but it is also used most times with like a sausage or a hearty stuffing. So that's why I thought I'll just throw a little bit of that in there. So that is basically it, guys. And if it's a little bit dry, then what I'll do is, when I see it cooking, if it does not seem to be coming together and having enough moisture to it, I'll just add a little bit more of that organic chicken broth, or pour a little wine, or just put a couple pats of butter on it, so that at the end it has that really crunchy top, but then has all those flavors incorporated as it baked through. And then I'm going to put up another video of me creating the cranberry. I love to make whole cranberries, so I ran out and grabbed some organic cranberries and some organic apricot preserves, and then I just throw a little bit of juice in there, either lemon or I think I may have a fresh organic grapefruit here. So if I do, I'll use a little bit of that, and I'll cook those down and make that. And then the turkey thighs, and then later on I'll put up a picture of everything on the plate, and I do have some homemade leftover mashed potatoes, and that'll be the whole dinner. So stuffing, turkey thighs, fresh cranberry, and potatoes. So I'll put up a picture and show you the final result, and maybe do a little short on the cranberries. All right, guys, take it easy, and I hope you're out there beholding what you think is beautiful. I had an awesome weekend with my kids, and you know, ever since having the COVID and everything else going on, I'm kind of like trying to get back in the groove, but hope to be posting some more soon. All right, take care, be well, and get out there and find what's beautiful to you.